My name is Dr. Favor Martins. And these are part two of what Nigeria must learn urgently. What Nigeria must learn urgently from China, and how Nigeria can become an innovative nation. What Nigeria, what Nigeria will learn urgently. Urgently, when I mean urgently, this is a practical step that we must take urgently, because Nigeria must be better, and that's why we need to come on board to be an advocate for change in this country. When I mean advocate for change in this country, we must change Nigeria, we must change the way we think, we must change everything about us, because I want to tell you that Nigeria is a place that God has blessed with natural resources, God has blessed with opportunity, God has blessed with open doors. So we cannot afford to allow Nigeria to go down the drain. And we want to call on everybody in diaspora, we want to call on everybody Nigerians in diaspora who God has given talent and given idea. We should come back home to develop this country to become an innovative nation. Because one of the reasons that makes China to become great today, they go into innovation. You see them back there, you see China product. For China product, they were making some startup product, but now they are making solid and powerful product. And they have different companies. So we are looking at so many things that we're going to achieve today. What Nigeria must learn urgently from China. What we must learn urgently from China, and how we can apply those methods, how we can apply those principles to make Nigeria to become great. So we must apply those principles to make Nigeria to become great. So, and that is what everybody needs to do. And I want to tell you, this is not religion, this is not Hindus, this is not faster prayer. These are policy step, governmental policy that need to come on board and that will develop our country. And I strongly believe that, when we are, truth is always bitter. Truth is always bitter. When I mean truth is always bitter, truth is always bitter. And we must tell ourselves the truth. If you don't tell yourself the truth, you will just remain in one particular spot. And that's why people don't want to change. A lot of persons today are going through trauma. They don't know what to do. And I want to tell you that the best thing to do is to make us understand that Nigeria is a place where everybody needs to be. And I want to tell you, this is the most important thing that you and I need to understand about this country. We need to understand about this country that Nigeria is a better place, and we all need to work. Now I want to tell you one thing. We have varsity of lands. We have lands all over the places. We have good weather. We have good climate change. We have good climate. We have everything that need to make Nigeria to become great. We have a place that's good for tourist center, tourist attraction. We have place for good investment. We have raw material and raw resources that will make this country great. So you and I need to make Nigeria great, and we need to learn from what makes China great. And let's go into the topic this evening tonight. Let's go to the topic tonight. Just 40 years ago, China was one of the poorest nations on the earth. 40 years ago, China was one of the poorest nations on the earth. And you can see that hunger, unemployment, and underdeveloped plague its people. Yet today, China is a global giant commanding respect in technology, manufacturing, and infrastructure and innovation. This is as China begin to strive. That was China begin to strive. They strive to come out of their pain. That's why I'm telling every content creator, also all bloggers, we should stop spreading bad news on the internet about Nigeria. Excuse me. We should stop saying things that does not represent us as Nigeria. We should start looking for the positive way to transform this country. How Nigeria can develop must be your concern. How your community must develop must be your concern. How we can invest and put things in place must be your concern. We should stop saying insulting Mr. President, insulting Senate President, insulting this, insulting that. You can't keep on insulting people. We have to take the bold step, and China took that bold step for them to got that revolution, and things began to change in China. So I still believe that things will change in Nigeria by the special grace of God. If you and I, we put ours together to make it work. How did this transformation happen, and what can Nigeria urgently learn from it? How can Nigeria urgently learn from what has happened in China? Number one is this: consistent in policy and discipline. Number one is consistent in policy. As Nigerians, we need to be consistent with our policies and discipline. And China was so consistent in their policy and discipline, and that's what elevates them. And so that's what elevates them. Beyond politics, we must look policies beyond politics. Because one of the things that is affecting us, Nigeria, when policy is in place, somebody say this is this man, somebody will call from above, let it go, let do this. We must put those things aside. Let everybody face the policy. If you break the law, let the law cut with you. And that is what we need to do. We need a very strong discipline to discipline ourselves so that we can get a better future for the next generation. And these are things we need to set on ground while we are on earth yet today. China followed a national vision. China followed a national vision that at lead political transition, leaders stayed focused on development, not personal gain. I get it? Not personal gain, not personal gain at all. Nigeria must break free from election cycle. Nigeria must break free from election cycle. I said this in one of our videos that the governor of Delta State should stop recycling old people since 1999 politics. And that's why the state is not developing. That is why Nigeria is not developing. When we keep recycling old politicians, as you keep recycling them, they keep covering the evils, the loots that they have done. So we must not give room to politicians to be recycling them again, to recycling them. You did any politician that if you run for governor for 8 years, you cannot go to run for Senate anymore. Are you getting it? Nigeria must come out policy. Once you run for a political office, for once, you cannot go to run for another political office. Once you run a seat of a governor, you cannot run as a senate in that particular state again. Once you run, unless it's a federal appointment or federal politics, but once you run 1 tenure or 2 tenure, you cannot go back in that same state to continue to run. So we must stop this recycling of old politics in Nigeria. We recycle politicians, and that's why those people, they are updated. So they don't have the AI generation, the new generation that we have right now. So Nigeria must break free from election cycle, distraction, and build a long-term blueprint that administration is born to continue. Again, that administration is what? Is born to do what? To continue. So we must create a system that like for presidency or governor, either it must be 6 years tenure, or 6 years tenure in governorship. We must create a way where people can work and let things begin to change in our country. And that's number one. It's a consistency in policy and discipline. We must discipline ourselves. Number two, food security. Agriculture as the first economy. Food security. Agriculture is the first economy any nation must focus on and to become great. Every nation must focus on agriculture. You must sustain how to feed your citizens first before anything. You must change. You must find a way to feed your citizens. You must find a way to make things work in your country. You must find a way that food are cheap in your country. You must find a way that food are cheap in Nigeria. We must create an avenue where everybody must work. Where everybody must work. The government must create a peaceful ground where people will be saved, where grants will be given to farmers, where food, the government can be buying food from farmers, and there will be natural food. So we must create that economy very strong. China ended farming by empowering farmers. You see, for China, they ended farming by what? Empowering what? Farmers. Are you getting it? Reforming land use. You see, the reforming lands use and modernize agriculture. Nigeria, blessed with vast, fertile land, must stop importing what we can grow. Are you getting it? We must stop importing what we can grow in Nigeria. What will make us grow? Nigeria must stop importing what we can produce here. We must stop importing rice. We must stop importing flour. We must stop importing so many things. What we know that we can produce here, we must stop importing it. We must learn to fix our refineries to refine our own crude oil and bring it back to the market. We must stop to sell our crude oil. We must learn to refine our oils. We must learn to, you see, China, they stopped importing and they began to grow their economy through their agricultural system, through their land, and the government supported them in what they are doing. So I want to tell you that in our country today, we must learn how to grow. We must learn how to grow. We must learn how to focus on all these things that we are doing. And I tell you, it's something that you don't need to live alone. We must have a way and must have where we are going. So we must stop importing what we can grow. Mechanized farming, irrigation system, and agro-processing industries can make us a food secured nation. Can make us what? A food secured nation. We must secure our food. We must secure our animals, animal husbandry. We must secure our seas. We must learn to see. The government must do things that the citizens, farmers, will go back to farm again. And we must learn to produce. And when we have excess food, you will see that Nigerians won't be hungry anymore. No child will go to bed hungry again. Build human what? Capital. Education and skills. Build human what? Capital. China invested in science. China invested in what? In science and what? And technology, engineering and vocational training to create a skills workforce. Nigeria, one lesson Nigeria we have, Nigeria must overhaul its education system to prioritize innovation and problem solving and entrepreneurship. A degree alone does not drive a growth skills and innovation than innovation do. Again, a degree alone cannot drive a growth in a country. Everybody are getting BSc this, BSc. A degree alone cannot change a country. A degree alone cannot change a country. We must create science hub where people can be creating. We must create hubs where people can produce their own cars, produce machines, produce technology, produce things. Where we can begin to invent things to make the country to become good. We must invent things, and these are things we need to do to make Nigeria to become great. We must make sure that this country become great. We don't need to be fighting ourselves all the time. We don't need to be saying no to this. We don't need to be saying no to that. We don't need to be saying no to this person. We must find a way to come together to build a nation. And when we build a nation, it's you and I that will build it. We should stop killing the people. We should stop doing things that is not good. We must build a strong nation. So through our education, we must bring new policies into the university in science, technology. We must create new hub of innovation into system. Everything we need to do, we must bring experts that will give us. The government will make education look so very cheap for every common man who want to become an innovator. That is what will change Nigeria. That is what will make this country to become great. That is what will make Nigeria to become great. We should stop. When Nigerians look at things, too many things look the way. Oh, no matter. I said one of the problems that we have in this country is the Pentecostal race that we have 30 years ago that destroyed this country, and that's why Nigeria is not developing anymore. Nigeria is not innovative. We are not creating. Everybody wants to preach. Everybody wants to point out to God. Everybody wants to point out. Africa is pointing out to God. Africa is pointing out to their ancestors. Africa is pointing out to prophet. Africa is pointing out to this. We must learn not to point out to bishops anymore. We must learn to become as a professor. We must learn to become to be creating things. Value. We buy billions of jets. What are we buying jets for? What are we buying aircraft for? What are we buying all these expensive things? What we cannot produce? What Nigeria cannot produce? If everybody become religious pastors and leaders in this country, how can we grow our system? School of theology, school of this, school of that, school of so many schools, and we are not doing nothing. We are not achieving, and that has kept Nigeria where we are today. It has kept us where we are today. It has kept us. No professor has come to say, okay, this is what I can invent. Common as this thing that they used to carry, they used to carry laptop. Common as this thing that you see, this iron is being produced in China. This iron is being produced in China. There's nothing that will think, oh, Nigeria, let's do it. Nothing is being produced in China. Everything being produced in China. So we must learn. We must learn to begin to innovate. We must learn to think. We must learn not just to go to China and bring all the keke, bring all the bobo and make in Nigeria a dumping site. It's high time Nigeria cannot become a dumping site. Nigeria cannot become a dumping site. We should stop bringing Belgian cars to Nigeria. We should stop bringing used items they've used abroad that are supposed to recycle. We should stop bringing them to this country. Nigeria must start creating. We must start inventing our own things that we can use and we can fall in love with, so that the world can see that Nigeria, we are responsible. We are responsible people. We are responsible personality. We have integrity. We are creative, not only in the theater, not only in the entertainment industry. Not everybody wants to become a content creator. If we continue like this, everybody wants to be a content creator. We are going to poverty. We are going to poverty because the people that invest in this platform that we are using, they draw economy to their nation. They draw economy to their nation. They draw development to their nation. They draw people to the nation. They've attracted people. They've attracted investors. So what are we doing as Nigeria? We should stop all these things that is happening in this country. We should start to see things that need to work. Something need to work in your community. Something need to work in that school. Something need to work in that place. Nigeria must begin to see things because it pains me a lot. We should stop traveling and begin to fix our country, to fix Nigeria, to fix our community, to fix our state, to fix our schools. We must fix our schools. We must fix our road. We must fix our electricity. We must fix our system. Our system is going down and it's getting worse. We must fix the banking industry. We must fix it, because if we don't fix it, the doom that is awaiting the future is bigger. If we don't fix it, the doom that is awaiting Nigeria is bigger. Everybody might be laughing, might be clapping their hand. Oh, I'm this, I own real estate, I own this, I run a company, I do this. No, we are not making progress yet. We must learn to fix this country. We must learn to fix this country. We must take a step. We must take that pain to fix our community, not by fighting. Have you seen people in Venezuela fighting over crude oil? Everybody wants to just benefit. Everybody wants to be leader. Everybody wants to make, I want to be community chairman. I want to be this. I want to be that. I want to be that. When I see people, there must be something. Not after you stole money from the public, then you now use the money to become a leader. No. There must be a drive. There must be a drive. There must be a passion. A passion inside of you. It is a burning passion that you have for your nation that will make you to pay the price for greatness of your nation. Not to lobby your way, not to ring, not to kill, not to destroy people. President Jonathan said that no blood of Nigerian citizen what is presidential ambition. No blood, no single person blood what is presidential ambition. What are you doing? What are we doing? We must make a move and we must change it, the narrative. We must change the education system and Nigeria will become great again. These are things I really want you to understand. Nigeria must become great again. And we must see that this country become great again. Number 5, infrastructure. Number 5, infrastructure, the backbone of progress. We must learn to do what? Infrastructure. Infrastructure is the backbone. Infrastructure is the backbone that will transform a nation. And I want to tell you, when the government focus on infrastructure, roads, power, railway, ports, and broadband, are you getting it? We must make this thing broadband. We want to form the foundation of China's growth. Nigeria cannot rise while industries run on generators. See it? Nigeria cannot strive while industries run on generators. Nigeria cannot strive while industries run on generator. Nigeria cannot break through while we will keep buying fuel every day to power generator. Every day my house, I buy fuel. If there's no light, fuel 20,000 every day, 15,000, 20,000 every day. You want to buy solar. So Nigeria cannot strive. Nigeria cannot strive. Nigeria cannot strive. Oh my God, I just feel like crying. I just feel like crying. I just feel like crying. He said Nigeria cannot rise while industries run on generator and farmers cannot move produce from farm to market. Infrastructure is not optional. It is the lifeline of an economy transformation. Infrastructure is not an option. It's a lifeline. It's a lifeline. It's a lifeline of economic transformation. It's a lifeline of economic what? Transformation. It's a lifeline of economic transformation. It's a lifeline of economic transformation. Nigeria must thrive. You and I must make it to work. 6, technology and innovation from consumer to creator. China shift from made in China to innovated. They shift from made in China to innovated in China. Innovated in China. Nigeria must embrace research, digital innovation, and local manufacturer, and we cannot continue to depend on imports while ignoring the creative of our youth. We must not, we must not continue to be importing. Go to Edo State. Edo people can do shares very well. We cannot be importing shares from China. We cannot be importing toothpick from China. We cannot be importing things from China. We must learn to empower the youth and teach the youth to open their creativity for them to start creating. And I tell you, you will see that if the government invested in the public, in the masses, Nigeria will become great again. 7. Poverty reduced. Inclusive growth. China lifted over 800 million people out of poverty through international policy, social safety nets, and job creation programs. Job creation. Nigeria must design poverty alleviation strategies that goes beyond and out and empower people with what? With credit. With credit. The government must empower people with what? With credit. Credit, skills, and opportunities. Government must empower people. It's high time the government must empower people with loan worth over millions, hundreds of millions to start innovating. We should stop killing the dreams of Nigerians. We should stop killing the dreams of our youth. Stop killing the dreams of our youth. We should start empowering Nigerians. We should take tribalism away and start empowering Nigeria. It's something that are going to help us, are going to build our countries in a better height. The Nigeria possibility. Nigeria has the human talent. Nigeria has the natural resources. Nigeria has the youthful energy. What Nigeria urgently needs is the discipline of vision and consistencies of leadership and courage to execute bold policies. And courage to do what? Execute what? Bold policies. The question is not if Nigeria can do it. The question is not if Nigeria can do it. The question is this. The question is this. History already showed it is possible. History have shown it that is what is possible. History have shown it that is what is possible. The real question is, when will we start? When are we going to start? That is the question. When are we going to start to begin to see? Nigeria must learn. And I think this, we must learn to begin to crash food production. We must learn to begin to crash the system right now so that people will begin to benefit in this system. And I want to tell you that Nigeria will become great again. With unity and discipline and visionary leadership, Nigeria can transform from poverty to a prosperity, from poverty nation to a prosperity nation, just as China did. The time to act is now. The time to act is now. My name is Dr. Favor Martins Naki, and I want to tell you, I stand for a better Nigeria. I stand for a better Africa. I stand for a better global community where the world can come together. Thank you on this China and Nigeria's ideas. I see Nigeria a great nation again. God bless you. Make sure you share. What is your opinion and what is your take? You can drop it in the comment section and you can tell me your own opinion and you can tell me your own point of view in the comment section. We can discuss that. Thank you. God bless you. See you in the next episode. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so that when I post more educative video, you'll be the first to get notification. God bless you.